Hey, welcome everyone. Tom here from Park Avenue Trading, your chief dealer, keeping you sane in insane markets. It is 8:27 in the morning on March 17th, 2025. We got we got the Federal Reserve and the Bank of England have scheduled their upcoming interest rate decisions for the week. Okay, we got the Fed meeting March 18th through 19th. Decision announcement on March 19th at 2 o'clock p.m. Press conference, good old Fed Chair Jerome Powell will hold a conference at 2:30 on the same day to discuss the decision and provide insights into the Fed's economic outlook. This is going to be an interesting. The market's really not expecting him to do anything, basically, but you need to pay attention to what he talks about in that meeting. There's a rift between Donald Trump and good old Fed Chair Jerome Powell. They don't like each other. So it's going to be quite interesting if Powell keeps the screws turning a little bit against the administration, just political in nature. Eventually, believe that rates will have to cool off a little bit. Inflation has cooled off with the last numbers that we had out. But, I'm not really fundamental guy. I really don't care about what happens. Actually, I don't really pay attention to these meetings generally, but a lot of people tell me, hey, you got to throw that up in your your YouTubes. So, like some people do pay attention to it, and I understand that, but I actually believe that the price actually makes the news. So, without further ado, we also have the Bank of England decision announcement March 20th at 12 o'clock p.m., Coordinated Universal Time. So the Bank of England is also anticipated to keep base rates steady at 4.5 during the meeting amid global economic uncertainties and persistent inflationary pressures. Now, they're also talking about giving tremendous amounts of money to the Ukraine now for the war effort. I don't really know if they have the money, and that's another story in itself. They could be just saber rattling, which I think they are. I don't really think they're going any place without the U.S. saying, yeah, we're all in. And the United States has said, no, we're not really all in. We don't want to give any more money. The political climate here in the U.S. is such that, it's not really... it's not really into it anymore. We have tremendous deficits. We're looking at 36 trillion in debt. Insanity, man. Really insanity. So let's get into the technicals. All right. So I got the weekly stuff still up. So let's switch. All right. Let's get down to the daily. Let's go down to the 1 hour charts. And what I'm seeing right now. Dollar yen really it has tested support so far at 148. I'm going to say 148.50. Okay, right there is the technical support on the day. It tested it, hasn't really been able to get through it so far, but I do believe that if we can't get above the 148.10 and we turn back down, this is going to be the level that we drive dollar yen down to, probably like 148 the figure. I don't really see it really falling out of the bed. It does need to get through this 148.20, and I think that would go like right down to like 148.01 on the day. I don't really think much is happening today, but I do think that we have to sell rallies against the previous high that we had. I don't really see it. Like if we look at this here, we got the 149, we got the 149. This is a double top here, but if we go back in time a little bit, we have that spike up right there at 149. What was it? 19. We haven't been able to pop it, and so short term, I think that the marketplace is just indecision, and if it breaks this 148, say 50, and stays below it, it's going to go to like 148 the figure. I'm personally short right here at 60 with a stop loss at 149.22, but that's just my trade. Really it was I could have waited and tried to sell that, like, say 148.80 if it's possible. Just missed that. But that's what I got going on in dollar yen for myself. doesn't mean to follow me. I mean, I'm just giving you the points that I see. Do your own research, right? Don't, generally that's the rule of the game. So let's go over to sterling yen. That's or sterling dollar itself. Before we get into sterling yen, 1 hour. All right. Now, like we said, we have these rate decisions going on, and I don't think that, guys, I'm not a fundamental trader, but the marketplace is going to be quiet, I think, in sterling right now. It's got to hold this 129.20 level in order to stay within this trading range here. There's resistance at 130. It's been a monster resistance so far. If we can somehow pop through that, we have additional resistance up at 130, 151 on the longer term. But short term, it would probably be like 130, between 35 and 60. I would think up there's going to be some resistance to the sterling. And it's really all dollar yen. Okay, so it has been dollar yen for quite a long time. I mean, months. So it hasn't switched. I mean, sterling has moved, but it hasn't been the leader in the cross. It's been dollar yen has been the leader in the cross, driving either sterling yen up or sterling yen down, or by the movements in dollar yen. Maybe one day I'll do an education on how to actually calculate the cross. I don't think that people really understand it, and I think that it would be an important lesson to give, and not many people know how to do it. So by you understanding how, as a bank trader, you could calculate the cross and leg in and leg out of a cross. So in other words, if you have a position on in one currency and you go, oh, I might be screwed in this, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to leg into sterling yen. Let's say you have a dollar yen position and you go, it's not, wow, this is not really working out. Or you're in the money in dollar yen and you want to protect that. You could actually leg into the sterling yen cross, and I could teach how to do that. Please leave in the comments if you want to hear it. Like I said, not many people talk about the cross triangulation. It's real simple, but it's an important concept. So anyway, sterling dollar, I think right now has to hold 129.20. If it breaks 129.20, probably looking at like 128, say 70-ish, something like that. Break of 130, I think there's going to find some heavy resistance between 35 and say 65. I don't really see much going on in this. Let's move over to sterling yen. Okay, sterling yen. All right. Oh, that stupid thing is on. Let me do this. Let me just put array up and then just erase it so I can move my chart around without drawing on it. Sterling yen for the day, 30. I'm going to just look at this double bottom here. Got to hold this level here, 192, say, I'll go 32. It's got to hold that level. If it turns down through that level, most likely, we're going down to 191. I'll go down to this low bars close right here, 191.75. 191.75. That's what I think the range would be for today. Now, there is resistance at 193.10. There's some good resistance up there. So if it pops up there, I may take a quick short on it with a tight stop, maybe 192.35-ish. So that's what I'm looking at. I'm just chilling out, waiting to see what the price action is. And I may lob some out at 193, say 10, 12, 15 if I can, with a tight stop. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But that's the name of the game, right? That's the name of the game. Let's go over to good old euro yen. All right. Got resistance up at this top here, short term, 162.26. This is interesting. Hasn't been able to pop that either. That's kind of showing a little bit of weakness in the short term. I think right now for the day we got to hold 162, say 161. I'm sorry, 161.55. If it breaks 161.55, I think it's opening up to like 160, 160.80, 160.90, 161 down in here. Let me get my brush. I can get my brush. So I think if we break this, we're going to track down like 161, like that. I think that the resistance is going to hold today at say 162.30. I don't think that it's going to be able to pop that, but hey, right now as it stands, it's threatening. It's really threatening. So the dollar yen's popping up a little bit. At my trade at 60 is not looking so great, but hey, hang tight, both hands in your teeth. All right, so that's what I got going on today for the sterling, the yen, sterling yen. Please, if you like what you see, please leave some comments. Like and subscribe. If you're new here, smash the like button. Head over to Park Avenue Trading, get yourself a free ebook. And I look forward to talking to you soon. And remember, always enjoy the party, but dance near the door. Cheers.